Hi, I'm Katherine Turner with Daily House Publishing, and this is your path to the bestseller list. Subscribe to this channel if you are interested in creating a sustainable full-time at-home career in writing or in authorship. I create videos once a week, so ring the bell and you'll get notifications as soon as new content is available. So this week I chose the topic of how to write a winning book title that sells. So you found this video, so you are probably trying to title a book. And as you know, it is critical that you select the right title and you pair that with a winning cover image. In the case of fiction, the title can be very short. It can be even one word. For instance, titles such as Beloved or Twilight. These are just one word, but they really evoke the experience that the reader will have, the genre of the book. So this paired with the cover image can really convey quite a lot of information. In the case of nonfiction, it's better to go a little longer and be as explicit as possible using plain language. Some classic examples of this are How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's an older book, but it's extremely clear what the book is about, and it gets bonus points for conveying the benefit. In the case of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, again, this is a winning non-fiction title, and it gets bonus points for, again, being very descriptive. It lets you know exactly what you're going to learn, and then it gets an additional bonus point for using a number. Numbers are mnemonic devices, and the human mind remembers numbers. Those are very descriptive titles, but it does not hurt to leverage a subtitle. You can use subtitles and should use subtitles these days for both fiction and nonfiction. There's 2 reasons for this. Number 1, you can be even more descriptive and you can convey more information to your readers. And number 2, if you leverage subtitles, you can use more keywords in your title. So in the case of digital booksellers, your book will come up in many, many more searches if you have keywords in your title and subtitle. My book, Path to the Bestseller List, this is an upcoming book that will be coming out in February. So Path to the Bestseller List has a subtitle, How to Create a Sustainable 6-Figure at-Home Career in Self-Publishing. So you see very clearly that it has a lot of keywords in it. In the case of fiction, you can still use a subtitle, and I do, again, recommend it. For example, you can just use a subtitle like Tales of Horror and Suspense. So these are genres. It really conveys information to the reader, and if they search for the words horror or suspense, which are very popular keywords, your book will come up in searches. But don't try to be too clever about it. Don't try to game the system by just listing a bunch of keywords and keyword stuffing. I've seen authors attempt to do this. They don't put any thought into it. Well, they do. They put thought into the search algorithm and the keywords, but they just list a bunch of keywords, and that's not a way to win a reader's trust. They see that your priority is the search algorithm and not their experience, so it's unprofessional. You want to show that you are a wordsmith, that you care about words. So the title in combination with the subtitle should be written for human beings and should be descriptive and enjoyable and memorable. Some other memory tricks to use are, as I mentioned before, numbers trick people into remembering. Contradictions and juxtapositions of words really make things stand out in people's minds, and they will remember your book and they will search for it. So another classic example in the case of contradiction would be, everything I never told you is a contradiction, and you're like, yeah, okay, that's strange in the mind, and so you remember it. Or a juxtaposition like love in the time of cholera. Love and disease don't normally go together. So again, it makes you go, and it sticks in your mind, and it's very evocative. It's it has poetry to it, and these things bring up emotions, and they're very visceral. So contradictions and juxtapositions are excellent memory devices. Some trending things in titles are swear words and absurdity. So I think that trend is waning, but I think you can still get in on it. I might, look ahead to the horizon and see what the next trend is, because that one is probably, passing by. But that's another good point. I mean, do you want an evergreen title, or do you want something that's going to be popular for the next 5 years? Do you want a big boom in sales right away, or do you want a sustainable long-term sales? So it's something to think about when choosing your title. Humor also is classic and evergreen. If you can make it funny, as long as it's descriptive of the experience the readers are going to have. Funny can be great, it can be memorable, but keep it descriptive, okay? So you need to convey what is going to happen when the reader reads your book. So in the case of swear words, of course, we know you are badass, and the subtle art of not giving a fuck, those, they go make you stand back. At this point, I mean, people are used to it now, so you can give that a try. But again, you can add subtitles to clarify your message, and in the case of these two books, lengthy subtitles are a part of the title so that people know what they're in for. Okay, so in summary, remember, make it discoverable by humans and search engines, so use keywords, but do not write for search engines, write for people, okay? So discoverable. Make it memorable, okay? So use some memory tricks to make it stand out in the mind. Promise entertainment in the case of fiction, and let people know what genre the book is going to be in, so the kind of experience they're going to have, if it's going to be science fiction, fantasy, horror, literary fiction. You want them to know what they're in for. And in the case of nonfiction, you want to offer a solution or a benefit, and lastly, convince the reader to buy. You want to convey your credibility as an author, your professionalism, your wordsmith ability. So that in conjunction with a winning cover image, the subtitle cover image, and the title all together will improve the sales of your book. So go ahead, and if you want to comment below some titles you're working on, I will let you know what I think of them and give you some recommendations. So go ahead and post any titles that you're working on in the comments. And again, don't forget to subscribe. I will be publishing a new video next week. So I will see you all next week, bestsellers. Thanks again for watching. Bye.